Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Here with Maggie Gray, or as John whispered to me in private, Miss Know-It-All. Whatever, John. Check that, prejudice at the door.
My bad.
Our next guest you're going to love. This guy is a sports expert, played in the NBA, played in championships, never won one, I believe. Won one on the Duke level, and is a good guy. Alaa Abdelnaby. Alaa, what's up?
Artie, how are you? John, how's everybody? And Maggie, hello, how are you?
Hey, Alaa, good to meet you.
I love.
Good to meet you as well over the phone. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love screaming out your name because I think I'm going to get 70 virgins right after this. Alaa!
don't sell yourself short.
I'll tell you what, if there's any truth to that, when Muhammad Ali got up, the 70 virgins, I just hope they were all dudes.
I was raised a Muslim. I never heard that part.
No, I know, that's made up, right?
Absolutely. Well, listen, I think there might be some substance to it, but again, like I said, I never heard that part.
Yeah.
I think radical Muslims maybe think that.
They do?
I don't know.
How do you come up with that number anyway?
Yeah.
I know, it's weird. I thought it was 72, actually. They rounded it off. Bin Laden just drinking, getting BSing his men. Now you got 72, actually. That sounded Swedish. Alaa, so let's talk some hoops. What's the severity of Derrick Rose? You think it's just a minor flesh wound? He's back?
Well, listen, I'm not there, and I'm obviously not in contact with the trainer as much as I'd like to be. But you have
Can you call someone who is?
yeah, right. You have to worry about, his situation right now because it's still early in the season. It wasn't like it resulted from a fall or anything. It seems to me like it's wear and tear. And that's a worrisome thing because it's still early in the season and you rely on him for so much. Not having him in the lineup is a big problem.
Maybe
It's a hammy, right? I mean,
hammy meaning hamstring. Let me explain to the little girl.
I
Hamstring.
Got it.
I think it's him overcompensating for the bad leg by tiring out the good leg,
Yeah.
And that can be troublesome because he already took a little bit longer.
Sweetie, we'll talk to him.
Yeah, no.
Speak when spoken to.
You wonder how long
John,
this
don't
will keep
encourage.
him.
Don't encourage. Sweetie, when we want something from you, we'll
I'll just be over here washing the dishes. I have a question for
And
you.
it's Mr. Abdelnaby.
I have a question for you. So what did you see out of Jabari Parker? You guys got to be ecstatic about this. I mean, it's not as though there aren't enough superstars to go through the Duke system, but you guys got to be pumped about this guy.
No question about it. You're absolutely right, Maggie. The thing that impressed me the most about him that night, the Tuesday night game against Kansas, was that I was a guy in the same situation in that I got a chance to go home and play in New Jersey a lot. As a matter of fact, we did it all 4 years. It took me 3 years. Finally, my fourth year, I wound up playing well because you are inundated with ticket requests. You're back home for the first time, plenty of distractions. And the need to want to impress at home sometimes gets you out of your rhythm, and you're in sync. You're out of sync all of a sudden. So I think the thing that impressed me the most about him was he was bold. He was aggressive. He didn't play shy or deferred to anybody. He took big shots. He made big plays, and he did all that in his backyard. I mean, he was just 6 months ago, he was living in Chicago. So to be able to do that on such a stage with all the hype and the attention, and let's face it, everybody in that Kansas locker room was trying to stop him because of who he is. And for him to still perform at that level, I was really impressed with his approach. Obviously, I was even more impressed with the baskets going in, but it was the way he attacked the game that really impressed me the most.
All right,
I'm looking forward to watching him play all year.
If the Mike and Molly show's over, I'd like to ask a question.
Alaa, you can come on our show anytime.
I'm kidding. I love when you, contribute, Tammy. Alaa, what is your thoughts on women being sports broadcasters? You've told me many times. You were drunk that you're against it. But sometimes don't you feel they overcompensate? They act like men. And you're not. And I'm saying.
Is this present company excluded or included?
No, Tara is not included in this. Sometimes they overcompensate and try to act like men too much, and it really gets embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, they'll go, hey!
I don't have a problem with with women because of the sex that they are. Here's my problem with any.
Why do you hate women?
No, I don't hate women. My problem.
That's the least of it, Art.
Who delves into this business is you've got to be prepared. I'm sure Maggie can tell you. You can't just come in and think, well, it's basketball, it's what I know, I'll just take it as it comes. There really is a ton of research and reading and just keeping up with things. And those are things that, for me, it's not
reading
because I'd be doing it anyway. But when I see someone like Doris Burke, and I love Doris Burke, I can listen to
whatever.
Listen to her call a game.
You could?
Time.
You could listen to Doris Burke.
I absolutely could. Listen, Artie,
could you also listen to someone saw a trumpet in half with a...
Listen. When you hear her break down a game and be able to interpret what's going out on the floor...
That means I can't reach the clicker.
Not a lot of guys can do it as well as she does. And I'm, male or female, it doesn't matter. She's good at what she does.
Okay, now listen, there's guys with horrible speech impediments who I'd rather listen to.
Yeah, well, there's a few guys that majored in Ebonics.
No, I know. I like a person with personality. You know what I mean? You're very likable.
Thanks,
Whatever
Artie.
my name
Cool
is.
you too,
Oh,
huh?
are you talking to Alaa or me?
No, I was talking to you. I just couldn't think of your name.
See, I assumed you were talking to me.
No. You know I like you. I've told you that.
I appreciate
When
that.
we're driving home, playing tumor or
Yeah.
testicle. Ala showed me this great game, tumor or testicle.
And you still haven't won.
And it's medical. I know, the last one I went with tumor, turned out it was his wallet. Artie, this is a long red light, right? Listen. David Tell, a comedian, has a great joke. He goes, everyone remembers the song that they lost their virginity to. Everybody. I still remember mine. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I can still feel her beard.
76 trombones, is that what it was?
Nice.
I got a basketball thing. Alaa.
Sandy, do you have another boring question?
No, but I know that Alaa's also from Jersey, and just like you, Artie.
I am.
Bloomfield.
Jersey boys.
Bloomfield High School.
Yes,
Chock
exactly.
full of exciting facts.
No, I think isn't Top Chef? Doesn't his brother coach that team? Tom Colicchio?
We're going to move on.
No, okay.
No, I don't know.
He coaches Bloomfield Tech, not Bloomfield.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, but I knew who you meant.
See, you're being feminine. You're being nice because you made a mistake. You know what I mean? Like a lot of women are afraid to do that. They're like, "Hey guys, it's 3rd and 8, and I'm gladiator at the gangbang."
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
pulling out
John.
North Jersey high schools. Bloomfield.
I
Who
love that.
cares?
I love that. John, your thoughts?
Did you watch the Michigan State Kentucky game, Alaa?
I did.
Go back and watch that one. I mean,
Yeah, I did. I got a chance to see them both, as a matter of fact.
disappointing. The freshman, the Kentucky freshman, disappointing, or is this the kind of thing where?
No, but that's a good question, John, because they come with a lot of hype. But I think the problem is, the hype is for people. I hate to say it like this, but the hype is for people that have never played.
White people.
There's black people who haven't played basketball either, but you know what I mean. I think it's for the people that are outside on the periphery. That's for them to talk about. If you've ever been in it, you realize that when you're freshman, you got to take it as it comes. What Jabari Parker did the other night was out of control. It was unheard of. What you're going to see more often than not is the way Kentucky played in that game. They struggled in the first half. They look like there are 5 different guys on 5 different pages, and then they slowly come around. That's what happens when you got guys that the turnover, the churn, if you will, is so rapid. It happens every year. It's tough to establish some kind of continuity, where I know what this guy's going to do because the guy I got used to, he's gone the next year.
But he's right. Doc Rivers' Twitter handle is Hypes for Whitey.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. You're horrified. It's a joke, Maggie. Now, Maggie, what nationality are you?
Nationality, I'm Lithuanian.
All Lithuanian?
Oh, both sides.
Listen, can you be from another country? Lithuanian fuck. Can you be from Canada? Can you be from Scranton?
That's another country, huh?
Yeah. That was my Mike Tyson impression. If you like, I'll do it at a corporate party for you. Now, Alaa, did you ever date a female broadcaster, Alaa?
I did not. No, but I've dated females before.
Of course, I know that, dude. There's a lot of women in North Jersey walking bow-legged who are going to attest to that.
Oh, I guess I should thank you for that.
A lot of waitresses who can't get the coffee over to the table in time.
My thing is this. I always look at it like this. Whoever's talking to me, I need to know more than what I'm seeing. And I think some announcers, male or female, do a good job, and some announcers just don't.
See,
So I don't think it has anything to do with sex. I think what it does do, though, is if you're going to talk to me about the game, most people would like to have known you were part of it.
Right. Well, listen, I had the direct opposite. When I saw John Madden, my reaction is, I've seen enough. I don't want to see anymore. But I like where we're going. I would love to see a Maggie Gray in the part of Monday Night Football.
Why not?
Thank you. But
I mean,
you want to see me as a
that's why
sideline reporter?
No. I want to see you in the booth doing the game. That's why they invented the mute button.
To have me on just to mute me.
Well, no, to look at you and, and listen, I'll put the radio on.
You can get better eye candy than that. I mean, that's the other thing. I
can't, baby. I can't. Your eye candy times 10.
We really got to work.
You're very shy. This is very sexy. I'm seeing a new vulnerable side of you. I just see the Maggie Gray who, gets on TV and goes, let's play Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what I'm doing after the show.
Were you aware that you say that? Yeah. What about so college basketball? I like talking college basketball a little bit with Alaa because we always talk NBA.
You want us to leave?
Yeah. No. So heading further forward. I mean, when do freshmen gel? But from your experience, I mean, when is Kentucky going to be the -- team in the country?
I think it will. It'll be a matter of time. I would venture to say that after January, what they've got right now is a couple of their schedule isn't crowded. So I think their next really big game is December 28th against Louisville. Other than that, they're going to play a bunch of teams that they can kind of beat up on and practice and use, as a live game situation where you can learn from. And I think those are the kind of things, those opportunities allow your freshmen to get better faster. Now, again, it's going to be up to the coach. It's going to be up, it's up to the players. But what impressed me from Tuesday night's, foursome of the two different games was Kansas had just as many freshmen on their roster as Kentucky did. Now, they may not be as heralded as Julius Randle and the Harrison brothers, but at the same time, still you had 5 freshmen to deal with. And they never looked, as opposed to Kentucky, they never looked like they didn't know what they were doing, that they weren't on the same page.
Coaching.
You know what I mean? And
coaching, my friend.
And that's a credit. Yeah, it's absolutely, Artie.
Thank you.
Absolutely right. And I think that's why Coach Self is a great coach for Kansas. I'm not taking anything away from Cal and Kentucky, but that's the thing I noticed right away was, wow, Kentucky, they look like they were, 5 guys on 5 different islands.
Yeah.
Wow, Kansas was breaking down Duke with patience and passing. And for 5 freshmen to be doing that, well, let's say 3 or 4 at any given time on the court, very impressive.
Do you think Calipari ends up heading to the NBA anytime soon?
You know what? He tried it. I played for him in the Jersey when he was with the Nets. I played on their summer league team. You know what? It's a different environment. He's beloved in Kentucky. He always will be. You know what I mean? Like, he could retire there and probably never have to pick up a check again. But
Nate family house costs $80.
The NBA is different. The NBA is different. You can win a championship one year, and then if you go the next year and lose 2 games in a row, you're horrible. Yeah. And I think it's that kind of fluctuation that he saw when he was in New Jersey. It's kind of the same reason why Coach K never left Duke, even when the Lakers came calling.
Sorry, Alaa, what?
Why would you want to go somewhere and risk losing that adulation?
Well, that's why it's confusing as to why he seems to want to go to the NBA. I mean, he's on record saying he wants to coach in the NBA again.
He told this great story 2 years ago.
We're out of time. No, go ahead. Calipari did?
Yeah, Calipari was telling the story to the media when his team was here for one of the regionals that was happening in Newark, and he told the story.
Can you say regional again?
Regional. And he told the story about when he was the coach of the Nets. It was back, in the area.
That must have been a page turner.
He said basically that when Kobe Bryant was coming out of he was going to be drafted that year, and Jerry West really wanted Kobe Bryant because he wanted him to go play for the Lakers. And so Kobe Bryant's agent said to John Calipari and the rest of the Nets staff, if you draft Kobe Bryant, he will not come play for your team.
Wow.
We will guarantee that. So they end up passing on him. Kobe ends up going to the Lakers, and the Nets draft Kerry Kittles.
Wow, that is a bad ending to that story.
Kobe actually got drafted by the Hornets.
Yeah, and then a
And
trade
they
for
traded
Vlade Divac.
Hey,
Yeah.
Alaa, I knew that, but it's abroad. Cut her some slack.
He got there with the trade for Vlade. But
When you're playing softball with a girl, give a man the 4 strikes, okay? Because that's why I got up early on a Sunday, to give a man the 4 strikes.
Maggie, are you having fun, Maggie?
This is great. Can I ask you a question? I'm sure you've probably asked this before. I hope I'm not repeating anything. But to play with Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter, I mean, what was that like?
Listen, I was blessed because I went from a team in college that won a lot. And, you know when you're in college and you're going to get drafted, okay, it's my dream. It's going to be the best part. I get to live out what I've been thinking about doing my whole life. Well, not a lot of people take into account that you can go to a really crappy team and that it's not nearly as much fun. So for me to go to a team like Trailblazers where, when you're on a good team with a lot of good players, you don't have to do as much. So I kind of took all of that good stuff for granted when I got to Boston and realized, hey, listen, now it's on me. There is no Clyde Drexler around. But I always said it to my friends who'd ask me, what's it like up there in Portland? I'd say, listen, you guys got to come out and check this guy, Clyde Drexler. And everybody knew who he was. He wasn't a secret. But when you're stuck out in Portland, you don't get to see him night in and night out. And he was one of the few guys that I can honestly say I would pay to see night in and night out. He was just a special kind of athlete, did some amazing things that would take your breath away. And I'm glad I got a good memory because I can still remember a lot of those plays.
I took my breath away from walking to the kitchen. But listen. But I always wanted
in that drive home.
I always wanted to ask a basketball player this, and you could defer to Clyde or anybody. How many white chicks can you fit in a Durango?
Well, if it's on campus.
Tanya, put your head in the glove compartment, Tanya. Now, what was the sex like, Alaa, when you were in the... I mean, it must have been crazy.
Well, let's put it this way, man. You go from being a tall, dorky dude...
But you're a good-looking guy.
Well, yeah, but listen, I was tall. Thank you, I appreciate that. But tall and dorky and skinny with a funny name, and my life changed the day, my name got put in the paper when I was in high school, and I was going to be something. All of a sudden, I went from walking to the locker by myself and no one acknowledging me to having girls waiting for me at my locker.
Now, can you really...
It literally happened overnight.
But can you really respect a chick who acts like that, basically acting like a hooker? Like, he's going, saw you in the paper last night, Alaa. I mean, do you really respect a girl like that?
No, you can't. And there's no future in that. But again, when you're 22 years old, you're not thinking about the future.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
So I think the thing that I noticed it right away because I went from being a nobody to being a somebody, and basketball would have been enough for me. But then you realize that the world and everybody around you looks at you differently.
Let me tell you something, Alaa. When you were a nobody, you were a bigger somebody to most of the somebodies who are now nobodies.
I appreciate that.
It's beautiful.
When replay the tape, I'll figure out what you said.
Yeah, well, no, it's. I'll have to explain that to Amanda. Well, now someone told me your sport is basketball.
Whatever my name is.
Rachel? No, of course, Maggie. They told you. Is that your favorite sport?
I mean, I don't know if I can pick a favorite, but between the NFL and the NBA, but I covered the Wizards for 2 seasons when I was in Washington, D.C.
With what, stench?
With a tape recorder.
Was that fun?
Thanks, Artie.
Now, for a hot young chick to be living in Washington, you got the senators hitting on you, you got the players hitting on you.
It's exhausting, I know. It's tough. How did I get any
you
work
date anybody
done?
at that time?
No, not really.
Did you sleep with anybody?
Well, I mean, not anything memorable,
Really? Well, let's change that.
But I got to cover the NBA.
You
and,
like mint julep?
And it was really a great
When you got
experience.
to the NBA, it was probably Penis City.
No, but I mean, listen, you have to do. Listen, Alaa knows this. You got to do your job in a locker room, which is so awkward. John, you know this too. I mean,
What is that? Give an oral to a rookie?
it's bad on both sides. I think you
What
guys would both
happened?
say that. No, nothing's happened. I'm just saying
Well,
it's a
they're in
weird
the
place
locker
to
room
do
with
an interview.
naked guys
Can I ask you a
everywhere.
question,
They
man?
shouldn't be
Yeah.
allowed in there. That's the thing when they're naked.
This happened to me. This happened to me once. We were playing the Bulls. I won't tell you anything else besides we were playing the Bulls in Chicago, and after the game, a young lady was coming in, and she was a reporter, and I was caught by surprise and didn't know she was in the locker room. And they usually would yell out, "Girls, ladies in the locker room."
Yeah,
in the locker
ladies
room,
in the house.
something."
Oh, wait a minute. Is this the story where Katie Couric
I-
gives Jordan a blumpkin?
No. So I guess I must not have heard the alert, so to speak. So I came out, towel in my hand, not even around my waist.
In the hand?
As far as I knew, it was nothing but guys in there. So waiting at my locker is this incredibly beautiful reporter from Chicago, and she's got her mic and she's got the cameraman next to her, and she's looking at me up and down. Now, is it a good thing that she asked me to go out after the game and have a dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
dude.
so.
It means you're the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
She liked
I'm
what she
thinking
saw.
either liked what she saw or felt sorry for me. Which one do you think it was, man?
To me, as a non-offensive...
I think you should know the answer to that,
To me,
right?
as a non...
The funny thing was, she had
Oh, wait.
already, whatever there was to see, she had seen, and I was, I had to catch up.
Right.
I don't know. Do you think it's
Unfair advantage.
Do you think it's racist, Alaa, if a white man is afraid to follow a black man with a woman just because they're intimidated? You know, like because you think they're so good in bed, like you can never live up to that. Do you think that's racist?
Always, perceptions and misconceptions, sure.
And I mean, yeah, but I'm not a racist. I mean, I would have been the first one to say, Alaa, that towel belongs on your head.
Good, that was good.
By the way, Ken Cole just quit.
Does that happen a lot, Maggie? Have you heard of your colleagues doing that? Because I thought it was kind of unprofessional, but then that lasted like 3 seconds.
Wait,
So he went. You actually went out with
you
this
actually went
woman.
on a date with
I
him?
did. She took me out to dinner.
He's a
and had
guy.
lovely evening.
And
I've
wait,
never heard
Alaa,
of
she
that before.
paid? She
Yeah.
paid?
I mean, that's.
Can you expense that dinner?
Yeah. Isn't that the kind of thing you could get in trouble for?
I've never heard anything like that. I mean, I guess good for you, Alaa, but I've never heard of anything like that.
Alaa,
None of my
no,
colleagues
there's
have
more
ever
than
done
good for you, Alaa. You're the best man who ever lived. You think, who wouldn't do that? I mean, you got broads crawling all over you.
Plus, I'm on the road, single. I'm not married. It's not like I'm hurting anybody, you know?
2 words, donkey punch.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know what that means.
Alaa, did Michael Jordan ever talk trash to you?
Oh, the year after my first year in Boston,
Overrated.
'93, and they had just won the North Carolina had just won the NCAA tournament. Well, he was at mid-court when we were lining up because I started when I was in Boston, so he's lined up next to me, and he picks up his shorts, his bull shorts, and he shows me his light blue shorts underneath, the Carolina shorts, and he goes, "Yeah, champion, baby. How does that feel?"
Wow.
So I had my Boston green on. I picked up my shorts, and underneath were my Blue Devil shorts, and I said, "Yeah, but we won back-to-back in '92 and '91."
I would have won up to both of you and said, "Look at this guy's blue balls." Blue balls, 1984 to present.
It's probably one of the few times where I actually got the last word on Michael's,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
crap talking, if you will.
Was he that good, man? Was he just on another level where you said, "My God, this
Listen,
guy"?
I've never played against anybody like him, and what made him special was he was as gifted mentally and I mean attitude-wise. There was a hunger to him.
Right.
He didn't take crap from nobody. Like, he never rested on being the best player in the world, even though everybody knew he was. He came at you every time, and more importantly, he played defense. When I look at LeBron James now, Dwayne Wade, and look at any other star you want to mention in the NBA, ask them or ask yourself, do they play on the other end of the floor? Because MJ did. And if it was good enough for MJ, why don't the rest of them do it?
Well,
I'd ask
LeBron
myself
says
that,
his-
but I might get arrested.
LeBron's saying that his teammates aren't playing defense. Is he talking about himself too?
Well, listen, you got to set an example. I'm sure
That's
that
true.
He hasn't
Yeah.
been a perfect defender either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But again, he's right to the point where defense is a collective thing. But MJ refused to let anybody look better than him on either end of the floor. He just
Right.
would not let anybody win a matchup with him. And I just don't see that kind of hunger and tenacity in the superstars now because, okay, you can bring it during the NBA Finals, but MJ used to bring it against the Bullets.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was when they did that at the Chicago Bulls games. It's not just the playoffs or the finals where they do that thing with the lights and everything, introducing Jordan. They did that against, the Clippers in February. From North Carolina. Like, why even play the game? But we got to take a break. And you're right, man. You got to set an example. If you're LeBron, you can't let your mom bang every teammate. It's ridiculous. We got to let you go. You're always amazing, man.
Artie. So much fun. John, Maggie, good to be with you guys.
Thanks, Alaa.
Great, thanks.
Say hi to the fellas that are controlling the control deck there.
Ala's a big guy, and for the record, I would not have made that towel joke if he were here live. For a couple bucks a month, DollarShaveClub.com delivers amazing quality razors right to your door. Not only does it save you a ton of cash, it saves you from trudging to the drugs. I can't wait to hear Ken's conversation with the boys from Dollar Shave Club tomorrow. Artie tends to push the envelope. I always get stuck behind the lady paying with all those loose change, the car ashtray. It's like she thinks exact change is a requirement. Hold for laugh. I'm a patient person. But heck, I came in with scruff. Now I'm leaving with a full beard. Now, Dollar Shave Club, just a couple bucks a month, amazing quality razors delivered right to your door. Cut some blow with the razor and put the other one for you.
Yeah.
That's right. No more wasting time and no more getting hit up for $20 every time you buy. Everyone here is getting their Dollar Shave Club blades. Everyone, me, you could use it for the feminine stuff. Absolutely. What a great campaign. Julia Gray for...
I'd be happy to be the face of that campaign.
Well, we'll get them in touch with you. Don't be so aggressive. Don't waste time at the drugstore behind the lady paying in pennies. Join DollarShaveClub.com. Keep your stress level low and your bank account balance high. Shave time, shave money. Let me explain what happened there. I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, so it jumped out. And you're sort of save time, save money. This is shave time.
Way to play on
That's
words.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, John.
Thanks.
Most of it's the delivery. DollarShaveClub.com is the place to go. We're going to come back and talk more with the lovely Maggie Gray. We're going to see if we can get this party started.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.